with the verb make, it's usually related to food, you know, maybe preparation. This is how we usually use make, but we can also use it in other ways, like for example, make a decision, make a mistake. So this is the idea with the verb make. And after that, we started talking about the first conditional in grammar. We talked about the first conditional, and we agreed that the most important thing to know with the form of the first conditional is that in the if clause, we have present simple. So if clause, we always use present simple. And in the main clause, we use will plus infinitive. So if you see any conditional sentences and you find present simple in the if clause, and then you find will plus infinitive in the main clause, this means this is type 1, all right? Sometimes they call them type 1, sometimes they call them first conditional. You know, it's the same thing. Type 1 ولا first conditional هي نفس الشيء. All right, so we talked about this, and then after that, we talked about another interesting point, which is how to use unless. So unless, it means like if not. So whenever you find unless, you need to change the whole thing into negative, and we did that together also. So we talked about that. And after we finished talking about the first conditional and we talked about how to use it, we agreed that the first conditional talks about the future. It doesn't talk about the present, and it talks about things which are possible. You know, they're not definite. So if you remember Jo, when she was talking to her brother Adam, and she said, if I start teaching again, I'll be exhausted after a year. So she's talking about something in the future because she will be exhausted. This is in the main clause. But whether she starts teaching or not, this is something which is not certain. That's why we use the first conditional for possible things, not certain things, okay? And we also talked about another word, a modal verb, which has the meaning of will, perhaps, and that modal verb is might. So sometimes you can find might instead of will in the main clause. So this makes it even less possible. If you find might instead of will, it makes the, you know, the main clause even less likely to happen. So we talked about that. And the last thing I think we talked about, the last part, was the future time clauses, remember? And we agreed that the future time clauses, there isn't much difference between them and between the first conditional, because if we go back to the examples, and if you take a look at them here in number 4, the last 4 examples, 5 examples, these. So in all these examples, if you notice, you can see that we use the will plus infinitive in the main clause. So the will plus infinitive is the same thing, didn't change, it's there, you can clearly see it here. Will plus infinitive, again, will plus infinitive, and again here, will plus infinitive, will plus infinitive, but it's a negative here, won't. But it's will, it means will plus infinitive, will plus infinitive. So it's the same. The main clause didn't change here, right? But the if clause, each time we used a different word. So here, number 1, we used before. Here in number 2 or number 6, we used as soon as. Here we used after. Here we used until. And here we used when. All right, so this was the last thing we talked about. So what we're going to do today, before we talk about our new topic, the zero conditional, we want to do a few exercises first, okay? So here, if you can see number 8, can you take a look at exercise number 8 here?
Yes.
Yeah, so now this time they want us, so this is another paraphrasing question, really. They just want you to rewrite the sentence, okay? So they want you to rewrite the sentence, but of course they want the same meaning, and they need you to include if. Not always if, but they usually tell you to include the new word in the brackets, to include it in the new sentence. Okay, so this is the idea. So let me show you what they did in the first one, in number 1. So number 1, he won't do it unless we pay him. All right, so all we need to do is just use if instead of unless. This is the idea. So he won't do it if we don't pay him. So it changes because we removed unless and we put if, so we need to make the verb into negative. This is just the first example. So let me give you a minute, just a minute. Take a quick look. Just read number 3, 4, 5, 6. Just take a quick look. And then we want to work together and do them. And I'm just going to leave a place here so you can write them. And we can write them together here in this area. So take a quick look and we'll do them together. Okay, are you ready? Shall we check them together? Would you like to volunteer first, Sana? Or Malak? Malak wants to start first.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with number 1. Let me write it here. Okay, let's change it out. Okay, so how would you change number 2, Malak, to include unless?
Okay, I think it's difficult. Okay. I will make dinner after I
What are you? You're doing 9. No, we're here in number 8.
do. Oh yeah.
Number 2 in question 8.
I think number 9. Yes. Okay.
No, it's not number 9. It's 8. We're still in 8.
Okay.
So all you need to do is.
Yes. Okay. I'll come out tonight unless I don't have to work.
Okay, but take a look at example number 1, Malak. Check number 1, the one that's already answered here, and take a look at how they changed it. Can you see it?
Yes.
So what did they do when they changed if with unless?
Add if. Add if. No, he won't do it if we don't pay him.
Did we only add if, or did we add if and something else?
Add if and negative.
Right, exactly. That's the point. So okay, in number 2,
I'll come out tonight unless I don't. It's here. I don't. I think.
But you're gonna use unless. So what should you do?
Okay, if unless I do have to work. Unless I have to work.
Right, there you go. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the idea. So I'll come out tonight unless I have to work, right? I'll come out tonight unless I have to work. So this is the idea of question number 8. It's a kind of a paraphrasing question, unless I have to work. All right. So now, what about number 3? How would you answer number 3?
Perhaps he will call you if he has time. He might call you if he has time.
Right. He might call you if he has time. Nice. Okay, Malak, what about number 4?
I'll have to sell the car if I find a job soon.
Forgot
if
something.
I don't find.
That's it.
Yes, I
always remember that unless equals if not.
Okay.
It means the negative of if. Do you get the idea? So whenever you want to put them, you want to replace one with the other, you have to include the negative part. So I'll have to sell the car if I don't find a new job soon. Okay, number 5, Sana.
Okay. Okay. 5. If Tony doesn't get here in the next 10 minutes, we will go without him. Okay.
Okay.
Unless Tony get here in the next 10 minutes, we will go without him.
Excellent. There's only one tiny thing. Unless Tony.
Unless Tony gets.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Because it's present simple and Tony is a he, right?
Yes.
So there you go. That's correct. Unless Tony gets here in the next 10 minutes, comma, we'll go out. We'll go without him. There's no out. We'll go without him. All right, nice. Okay, back to you, Malak. What about number 6? The last one.
Maybe I might go away this weekend if my friends don't come to visit. All
right, the second part with the if is fine. It's correct. Okay. But what about the first part?
I might.
That's it. Again?
Yes, I might away this weekend.
But you forgot the verb. I might?
I might go.
There you are. That's it.
Away this weekend.
I might go away this weekend. And if my friends don't come to visit. All right, so this is a very nice exercise, I think. A bit of paraphrasing, so it's good. So we have all the answers now, and we can move on. So now let me show you number 9. Number 9 is, in a way similar, but this time there's a bit of focus. They want you to use might and go. Make and go again. So,
make and do.
Yeah, make and do. Sorry, I said make and go. So make and do, the ones that we did in the beginning of the last lesson, in the vocabulary part, they've included it in the exercise. So you need to also use it again. So take a minute first, okay? Just take a quick minute, read all 9 points. And this is a 2-in-1 lesson, a 2-in-1 exercise, because you need to write first conditionals, or maybe future condition. But let me take a look. مخلط. Some of them are first, some of them are future conditionals. Yeah, مخلط هيك وهيك أعطيكم. Some of them future clauses, and some of them first conditionals. But you need to pay attention to the correct form of make and go. Do, sorry, make and do. So just read them, and then we can work together. Okay. Let's take a look. All right, so who will volunteer to do number 2?
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Sana. You're always volunteering. You know the lesson, volunteerism. We should make another word, volungramism or something like this. You're always doing the exercises. All right,
Okay.
so go ahead.
Number 2. I will make dinner after I do washing up.
Nice, that's it. Yeah, I'll make dinner. I'll make dinner after I do the washing up. So there you are. All right, nice. Now, what about number 3, Mac?
I will do some work before everyone arrives.
All right, I'll do some work before everyone arrives. Before they arrive. Okay, what about number 4, Sana?
Okay. If you do the cleaning, I will do the shopping.
This sounds like an agreement between a husband and his wife. Maybe this is after a fight, and they almost killed each other. In the end, when they calmed down, they made this agreement. If you do the cleaning, I'll do the shopping. All right. What about number 5, Malak? What about this one? As soon as. What do you think?
Okay, as soon as I do some progress, I will let you know.
Okay. So with progress,
I'm doing?
no, the form present simple when نبو صح. لكن
Yes, present simple, I think, yeah.
Yeah, صح. But with progress, is it do or is it?
Doing.
No, not doing. It's another verb.
Oh, you mean make?
What do you think, Sana? Is it do or make?
Make, yes.
Make is correct.
Mm.
All right, so you were right about the present simple. هو مظبوط. لكن مش do. As soon as I make some progress, I'll let you know. Okay, what about the next one?
Okay, number 6. I will do my homework after this program finished.
Right. I'll do my homework after this program finishes. Okay, number 7, Minard.
You won't make any money until you do a business course.
Right, that's it. You won't make any money until you do a business course. And remember, the pronunciation of won't is like don't. You have to be a little careful with the pronunciation, because if you're not careful, it will sound like want. I want a chocolate, right? Want. So there's a difference, want and won't. Won't like don't, the same sound. Won't, don't.
Okay.
All right, number 8, Sana.
Okay, I will make an appointment with the doctor when I have time.
Right. I'll make an appointment with the doctor when I have time. All right, next one, number 9.
Okay, I do the wishing if you will make Jamie's birthday cake.
Can you say it
So,
again?
I do the washing if you will make James. Oh, I'm sorry. I will do the washing if you make James' birthday cake.
Yeah, that's it. I'll do the washing if you make Jamie's cake. All right, very nice. All right, so this is also a good exercise in my opinion. It's a nice revision for do and make. And at the same time, it's a nice revision for first conditional and future clauses. So this is a good one. All right, our last exercise for this lesson. Let's take a look at it. So here we are. Okay, this is a bit like, it's a bit like a speaking exercise, number 10. So what you need to do here is just complete these sentences about yourself. So all you need to do is just talk about yourself. So for example, okay, let me give you a minute first. Just read all 10 points, take a minute, check all 10 points, okay? And then think a little bit about yourself. You can use anything you want. You can talk about anything you want, as long as it's grammatically correct. That's it. So take a few seconds. Okay. So let's start with our favorite volunteer.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay. Okay. All of them I will do.
no. You can do them, one by one. Malak can do the other one. You can do randomly.
Okay.
By the way, Sinan, you can choose choose from these. Let's say you have 10 points.
Okay.
Choose random ones. Choose, for example, 4, 7, 1, 8. Choose 5 of
Okay.
them that you would like to talk about. So the other 5 Malak can talk about instead.
Okay. As soon as I get home today, I will make a lunch.
Good, but without a. I'll make.
Okay. Lunch.
That's it. Nice. Good example. As soon as I get home today, I'll make lunch. Good. Okay. Choose any other one, Sana.
Okay. Before I go to bed tonight, I will clean my tooth.
Plural.
I will clean my tooth.
No. Clean is fine, but you don't need do. No.
Okay, I will clean my tooth.
The plural of tooth.
Teeth.
Yes.
Double
Because
E, yes.
yeah, because when you say before I go to bed tonight, I'll clean my tooth, it means you hold only one tooth and you brush it, just one, and you ignore all the other teeth. There's only one lucky, one lucky tooth tonight that he will brush, and he'll ignore all the others. They will be very jealous. They will say, "Oh, why didn't she brush me?" So all of them will be sad.
Okay.
It's a good example. Okay.
Okay. I will be at the next class unless I have an appointment with the doctor.
Good example. I'll be at the next class unless I have an appointment with the doctor. Okay.
Or unless I don't know. I have another sentence.
Sure.
Unless the weather stop rain.
It's the opposite. Unless it starts raining.
Okay.
Do you get the idea? Because unless هي بالعربي كأنك قلتي إلا لو هيك معناها بالعربي. يعني أنا حنكون في الحصة إلا لو صبت مطر، أو إلا لو عندي موعد. اليوم مثالك الأول كان مليح. إلا لو هي إلا لو هيك معناها unless.
Unless the weather start rain.
Unless it starts to rain.
I remove the weather.
Yeah, you can remove the weather. Because usually when they talk about the weather in English, they usually use the pronoun it. It's warm, it's sunny, it's windy, it's raining, so they use it to talk about the weather. Just say it. Unless it starts to rain. Unless it starts to rain.
Okay.
وفي ميزان sorry to interrupt you. في ممكن مزاحة واحدة أقصر. Unless it rains ما غير start. Unless it rains. You know أقصر واحدة هذه وتعطي في فكرتك يعني اللي بتقولها. Unless it rains.
Okay. I will be very happy if my English language improvement.
Okay, good. The idea is excellent, but can you make improvement? Make it into a verb.
If improve my language, my English language. If improve.
Can you go back to the first one? If my English language.
Improvement.
Improvement is the noun. احنا نبغى verb. أعطينا الverb متاعها.
Improve.
كويس وزدها s because the English language is in
improve.
it. Yeah, that's it. And I'll be very happy if my English language improves. Because remember, with the first conditional, we always need a present simple in the if clause. وimprovement noun فما يمشيش حالها. لكن الفكرة is the idea is very nice. All right, last you can choose one last example.
Okay. When I retired, I think I will looking for another job.
Okay, the idea again very nice, but you have to use
look
will.
For another.
Yes, a will plus infinitive. That's it.
I will look for another job.
Good. That's it. When I retire, I think I'll look for another job. This is a nice example.
Or I have another one.
Yeah,
I
sure.
will stay in my farm.
I'll stay at the farm, on the farm. مرات يستعملوا farm يقولوا في on. Stay on the farm.
The farm.
I'll stay on the farm. ولا I'll take care of the farm. مرات تقدر تقولي حتى manage. I'll manage the farm. So you'll be in charge of the farm, you know, take care of everything, the plants, the trees. Okay, nice examples. All right, so Malak, your turn. Tell us about the other examples.
Okay. If I am bored this week, I will visit my friends.
Good. Okay. I'll visit my friends. Okay.
After I finish this course, I will start another course.
Good. I'll start another course with the same teacher, as long as it's the same teacher.
Yes, إن شاء الله. Okay. I want to study English until I complete all the stages. I will until I'll complete all the stages. All the
okay, so here until this is instead of if.
after I finish this course, I will.
Yeah, I will
complete.
I will complete
all the courses. All the courses.
On to
all the next courses.
I think here until you need to use a present. I think I want to study English until until, because here I want to is in the future already. It's like I'll. I want to is similar to I'll.
Okay, after it's similar to I'll.
No, I'm talking about the example number 6, not 5. هي قصة
No,
I want
I talk about number 5.
Okay.
I am number 5. After I finish this course, I will complete other courses. Maybe
this is
I will complete other courses.
This is perfect. This is good. I'll complete other courses. هذه تمام.
Yes. I want to study English. It's the same.
But here, after until, you need present simple.
Okay. I want to study English until. Oh, yes. Until I finish all the stages, maybe.
That's correct. That's grammatically correct. Until I finish all the levels, until I complete all the levels. Good.
Okay. I'm going to my family's house this week, unless the weather is bad.
Good. Present simple. Unless the weather is bad. كويس.
I might move the house when my husband changes his job.
Good. I might move house when my husband changes, or maybe instead of changes, maybe when my husband gets a new job.
Yeah. Okay.
When my husband gets a new job. All right, good examples. These are good examples. Okay, so this is also a mix, actually, in question number 10. Some of them are first conditional, some of them are future clauses. خلط يعني, both of them. But I think you get the idea. وصلت أعتقد فكرة ال first conditional, future clauses. You use them to talk about things which are possible in the future. يعني كأنه بالليبي يعني لو صار كذا حيصير كذا. هي هذه الفكرة ببساطة. الشيء نتيجة اللو، نتيجة الإف ما هي تعتبر في المستقبل، حتى هتكون في الفيوتشر. هذه مهمة. وهل الحاجة بتصير ولا لا، هذه هي اللي النقطة هنا مش متأكدة. لو إف هي هذه الفكرة كلها. لأن نبغى نميزه، لأن كل واحدة بعدين في الكونديشنز لما نمر عليهم واحدة يعني مثلا الفيرست ديما من المستقبل، أشياء مستقبلية أكثر. And the easiest example to remember for me, يعني ديما نستعمل فيه نتذكره، اللي هو if you study well, you'll pass the exam. You know, you'll pass the exam. The exam. You get the idea? Yeah. So if you study well, you'll pass the exam. So the main clause أو الشرط هذا مرهون بالشرط الأول. If you study well, you know, if you do this, الاحتمال كبير you'll pass the exam. And it's very likely. مش 100%. لكن في احتمال كبير أنه حيصير، يعني هي هذه الفكرة. Okay. So if you study well, you'll pass the exam. لأن تو بنقارنوهم بالزيرو conditionals اللي حنمر عليهم في الدرس هذا. In this lesson, fear of failure. In this lesson, we'll talk a little bit about how to use the zero conditional and how to talk about reflexive pronouns. But before we do that, let's start with some general questions first. You know, we have a little bit of speaking. Let's do the speaking questions. So here it is. So the first question, it says, when you were a child, what did your parents make you do? What did they let you do? Talk about these things and your own ideas, you know, helping in the home. طبعا يسرب بصفة عامة هي النشاطات المنزلية التعليمية ممكن أكثر، درس مخصوص للموضوع هذا. So helping in the home, going out on your own, free time activities, toys and games, birthdays, and homework. So you can think about these things when you answer the question. اللي هو what did your parents make you do? So when we say make you do, this means they are forcing you to do it. Do you get the idea? So when a parent makes you do something, it means you must do it. Do you get the idea? You have to clean your room. You must clean your room. This is the idea. And what did they let you do? When we say let you do, this means this is permission. It means maybe they let you play with the neighbor's kids. They let you, you know, play PlayStation, play cards. Some parents let their children play cards. Some parents don't. Some parents let their kids play with the neighbors. Some parents don't. Do you get the idea? So this is what the question is all about, and this is what the lesson is actually about. It's focused on childhood, children, parenting, you know, this kind of thing. Okay, so at this time, let's start with Malak instead of Sana. So Malak, tell us a little bit about your childhood when you were a child. What did your parents make you do? Is there anything that they made you do? Things that they told you you have to help in the kitchen, you have to help with the, I don't know, anything. Things which parents make children do. Was there anything they made you do?
Yes. Maybe wash the dishes. I had to wash the dishes, and I had to tidy up our rooms. I had to clean the kitchen or clean the bathrooms. Yes, a lot of things. Because I was one girl. We have no other girls with my mom.
You were an only
yes,
girl, the only girl.
I helped. Yes, I helped her a lot at the bus.
Okay. And what about the things that they let you do? You know, things that they said, it's okay, you can do it. You know, what did they let you do?
Plays with my cousins, go to our cousin's house to play with their daughters, and playing, watching TV, play with my toys, and maybe read something I like to read, like magazines. She buy they buy for me magazines, a lot of magazines.
What kind of magazines did they buy?
For kids, it's Majid or yes,
Disney, those kind of magazines.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. That's good. Okay, I'll just ask you the second question too. Do you think, I mean, nowadays, today's parents, do you think they worry too much about how well their children do at school? I mean, you know, their grades.
Yes.
Do you think they worry too much, more than necessary? Is that what you think? This?
Yes.
But why do you think so? Why do you think that parents worry too much nowadays?
Because nowadays all of things is open, like internet, and children maybe they don't want to do anything, just play with the computer games, and a lot of plays at their phones, or online on the internet. It's a lot of dangers on their mind. I think children, they don't want to do anything else, just to play.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah, today, because with the internet and easy accessibility to smartphones, this puts children at risk that they're always, busy or addicted to their phones, not paying attention to their teachers or their homework or school. So I think you have a good point here. Maybe this was different from when we were children. We didn't have, these difficulties maybe 20 years ago or 25 years ago. Okay, good points. What about you, Sana? What were the things that your parents made you do, or the things that you had to do as a child at home and at school? And
Okay, for me, my parents always pushed us, me and my sister and the brother, push us to study hard, to get a good grade, and especially when the time for when the period of study.
You mean during the week, or before exams, or in general during the year, the academic year?
Yes. And yes, because I don't know, but not by force, just to let us to, especially when there is an exams and like this.
So they want you to study. They tell you have to get good grades, you have to get good marks.
Yes, and in the free time, it's okay. I always play with my neighborhood and
with your neighbors.
Yes.
Nice.
And my parents,
they let you play. They allowed you to have friends, have fun, play with the kids.
Yes. Because I think it's before the life is now changed.
True.
Before the parents not force the children to study hard and to, because I think you can, before you can get a job without certificate, I think, but now I think it's hard to get a job without certificate.
Good point. Yeah,
I mean high grade.
Yeah, good jobs or high paying jobs.
Yes. Nowadays it's difficult. Before I think no. I know a lot of like I mean my cousin, and they didn't have good certificate, good grade, but they worked and they
have good jobs.
Yes. But now I think no, you cannot. Even a lot of people have a high certificate, but they don't work because I think it's difficult nowadays to get a job.
So this is also, you think, one of the reasons why parents worry too much nowadays about their kids at school, right? And their grades. That's why they always want them to study. But do you think kids nowadays, do you think they study more than
No.
your generation when you were kids?
No,
You think
no.
you studied
For me, I study without force. I tell you, if there is an exam and I just sit and study without my
parents
mother
telling
or
you,
my father to tell me.
oh, you have to study, you have to do this.
I have homework. But now I think it's hard to let the children to study.
Yes. No, I completely agree with you because I
Mm.
teach.
I have.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Complete.
I was saying I teach some kids in the morning. They come and get some private lessons because their parents want them to study. And it's very hard. They don't study well at school because, you know, the schools are open, closed, open, closed, open. And here, and when they come here, it's even worse. They just want to
Yeah.
play and they want to distract me. You know, they want to keep me busy. They keep talking. Oh, we did this, we went that. You know, they don't want to study. And when I try to force them to study, you know, they start crying or they start shouting and they don't want to study. They're not used to studying.
Maybe we need to change the way of the education.
I
think
agree. I
because
think you're right.
maybe we need some like to learn the children. You need like games by alaikum salam.
Alaikum salam.
وعليكم السلام.
Maybe we need like games like I think it's
Activities.
yeah. Nowadays I think we should do like this strategy in our education.
Actually, a funny thing is I started doing this and I found some success. It actually worked with the kids, but I don't know. I was thinking, how can a teacher in a classroom do this? Because it's very hard. You know, teachers have lots of kids in the classroom at the same time. For me, I only had 2 kids and it worked well. What I do is I use the timer. So I give them 2 minutes playing, right? So what I do is I set the timer on 2 minutes and then I play with them something. You know, maybe, you know, like those games that kids like. So I play with them a little bit, or maybe the other game where they put their hands and then I slap them and, you know, they laugh a little bit, they want to cry and then they get them, I get them energized, you know, and then I set the timer, okay, 2 minutes studying. So I go back to the book and I found this works really well. But in a classroom, I think it's very hard to do this.
Not do like this just to play. No, maybe if okay, for example, if we have a topic, for example, and I can do like the topic if you want to the kids to understand. Maybe we put it in the question like some draw sloughing or some
You mean
you get my point.
yeah, I get your point. To make it fun for them, like in a cartoon
Yes,
or a story.
yes, and
But
maybe let them to play or to do like this. I think my sister in the before try I don't know how to explain.
she tried this before, you mean?
Yeah. Try this before with the kids, and it's the kids it's
It worked well.
play
They
and
liked it.
and they like her way how to teach them.
True, yeah, I think. But the thing is, when I looked at their books were actually very good. Most of, especially in private schools, the teachers are not all very good, unfortunately. But the books are very good. I saw their books, especially, for example, Macmillan. They have very nice books for kids.
I
Cambridge,
don't
Oxford, all of them have very nice books for kids. I'm talking about the English schools.
no I talk in general, not for the English.
Yeah, I
I
mean
think
all kinds of kids.
nowadays I think the children start to like English. Maybe with the history, with the math, and this is I think
you mean
difficult
include it in all kinds of subjects, activities.
yeah, yes. I have nowadays I have my sister son.
Your nephew.
Yes, it's in nowadays تمهيدي. I don't know how
Kindergarten, preschool.
Yes.
تمهيدي
And
preschool.
yeah, he don't want to write and do anything because
Exactly.
it's the alphabet and it's
Yeah,
his
they don't want to study
my
this.
sister is crying and shouting
She's going crazy.
to her. And yes, it's difficult too. And he don't want to write and don't want to do anything. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It's difficult and
I agree. I think I don't know. This generation they have lots of difficulties.
Yes, maybe the way of the education should be in general should be changed. Maybe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so before we check Hajar's opinion on this, let's have a little prayer break first, and then maybe
Okay.
you can see Hajar's ideas, what she thinks about childhood and education. Okay, so let's have a little break, a quick break, and then we'll come back again.
Okay.
All right, see you in a bit. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay, so your Malak is back. Let's see who's back. Hajar, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay, Hajar's not back yet. Okay, so let's move on. Let's check here number 2. So our second question here. Let's take a look at these words and these phrases before we check the article. So I think you know all of these phrases and words. I don't think any of them is new to you. I think everybody knows. What about this word, by the way? Praise. Who knows this word? Praise.
Maybe thanks. Thanks to.
Correct. You're right. Yes, this is the meaning. So, but when we praise someone or somebody, what does it mean when we praise a child, for example? What do you think it means when we praise a child?
Talking about good things in him.
Correct. That's the idea. It's a bit like encouraging the child, right? So we're saying,
Yeah.
You're very good. That's excellent. That's really nice. You answered it correctly. You know, good boy, good girl, that kind of thing. So this is praise. But what's the difference between praise and thanks? Malak, what do you think? Is there a difference?
Maybe thanks is say to anyone give something or help.
Okay.
Or yes.
But praise?
But praise to people. Praise people good qualities and then.
That's exactly right. Yes, you're right. When we praise someone, we usually praise the good qualities in the person. So we're actually praising the person, right?
Yeah.
Or we're praising how smart the person is. We're praising the quality of the person. So, for example, if someone does a very good job working on anything, maybe, you know, maybe someone, a carpenter, makes a very good door for you. So this person deserves praise, right? So you can say, thank you very much. Your work is excellent. I love it. Thank you for your hard work, for example. So this is praise. All right, so it's clear. Failure, success, of course, you know them. They're opposites, failure and success. Develop, I think everybody knows develop. What do you think they mean when we say make an effort, to make an effort? How would you explain this word, Malak, make an effort?
Do best what you do to something.
Exactly right. Do the best you can. That's the idea, to make an effort. Good. And good grades, you know, it's clear. You know, your marks, your scores on exams and quizzes and tests, all of this is your grades, your overall grades. All right, so now it's time to read the article. I'm going to give you some time to read the article. And after we read the article, then we can decide on this question, question number 2B. But I think we have to read first. Okay. Let me see if I can show you the whole thing together at the same time. No. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So if it gets too small, just zoom from your phone. Okay, Hiki, now all of it. Can everybody see the first and the last words? The first word is as everybody knows. This is the beginning. And the last word is in life. Can everybody see this on the screen?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, excellent. So this is the whole article. But before we read, let me just show you the title. How to measure success. This is the title, okay? How to measure success. So I'm going to give you some time. Let me just show you the whole article one more time so you can see all of it. Okay, so take a few minutes And when you're done reading, just let me know and we'll talk a little more about this, okay? وعليكم السلام نجاة, hello. It's okay. We're used to being late and quiet. Have you finished reading or not yet?
Not yet.
Yes.
Yes.
For me, yes.
Okay. Let's wait a little bit for Malak. It's a nice article, right? I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's give Malak another few minutes.
I finish.
Okay. That's good. All right. So let me zoom back again. So it's a little easier to read. Okay. So let's start with this kind of basic question. This first question here. So now, what do you think? If we had to choose just one sentence, okay, to summarize this whole article, which sentence do you think is the best sentence that describes this article? Is it 1, or is it 2, or is it 3? What do you think?
I think 1.
Okay, for Sana, it's 1. What about Malak and Haj? What do you think?
Yes, 1.
Malak, do you
Yes,
agree with them?
yes, yes. I think the best title is 1.
I don't know if Najat can. Najat, have you read the article? I don't know if she read the article or not. She was disconnected. Okay, so let's see. No, okay, she didn't read it. Okay, no problem. So I'm just going to quickly, together with you, with all of you, just go through the main points and see if number 1, because number 1 said children's results at school, are the most important thing. All right, let's take a look and see if this is true. So it says here, let's take a little sentence. So this is an example. These days, children are under more pressure than ever to do well at school. But is this helping? Okay, let's just go to the result. This means children spend most of their free time studying to please their parents. And the latest research suggests this can do more harm than good. If children study all the time, they don't develop in other ways. If parents want their children to be happy, they shouldn't put too much pressure. If you want to help your children, praise the effort they make, not the grades they get. If you criticize children for not getting good grades, they can feel like failures. These are just examples of some of the highlights of the article. Now, if you take in mind all of these sentences and you go back to the 3 headlines, which one do you think is the best one to choose? Do you still think it's number 1?
Hi, teacher.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
maybe.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, Hajar changed her mind. She thinks it's 2. Do you agree with her, Sana? Do you think we should also change to 2, or do you think maybe 3, or do you want to stay with your first answer?
No, I don't. I think it's first answer.
Okay, Malak, what do you think?
The second answer.
Okay, nobody wants the third answer?
No.
Okay. Actually, the second one is the correct one.
The second.
Yes.
Why? I think most of the article talking about the market and study hard, and that's why.
True, you're right. The author or the writer of this article, she is or he is talking about grades and children's education, but they're actually against the traditional approach of putting pressure on kids. You have to study harder. You have to do harder. From all the sentences that I showed you, and the article in general, it's against this approach, because if you take a look here, look at this sentence. If parents want their children to be happy, they shouldn't put too much pressure. If children study all
Yeah.
the time, they don't develop. Another sentence here. If I think this might be the best summary of the whole article, and this is what a child education counselor, مستشارة أطفال, she says, if you want to help your children, praise the effort they make, and here's the key, not the grades they get. هذه جملة بروحها it's
okay.
منافية تماما لنمبر 1. Do you get the idea? ضد قصة الريزلتس. المقال هذا ضد النتائج.
yes.
بالعكس المقال هذا يحث على عدم الضغط على الأطفال ومحاولة تقدير مجهوداتهم أكثر. effort. اشكروهم على المجهود وخلاص. ها سنة.
لكن هم كلهم حسب ما هم كلهم في الأول يتكلموا على children start hard and هيك. يعني هي تو بس هي النقطة هي بس هي ذكروا فيها أن هي يعني الجملة هذه بس اللي ذكرت فيها البيرس effort they make.
True.
هذا علاش أنا نحيتها يعني. يعني هي جت جملة واحدة في مقال يعني كله تكلم على الجريد وعلى الستارت هارد ستدي هارد وهيك يعني.
فهمتك. هو لكن لازم حتى انتوا بما انكم خشيتوا في الانترميديت بي والريدنج حيصبح في يعني كل ما قاعدين تتقدموا حتلاحظوا بيبدوا يزيدوا لكم في الريدنج والرايتنج حيبدا يزيد.
هي لو تلاحظ حتى اللاست بوينت ان هي لو نديروا زوم نشوفوا اللاست بوينت اللي حاطينها في الاختيارات حتى هي هنا ذاكرينها راه في اللاست باراجراف.
وينها؟
Last paragraph, it's opposite. It's not about the result. It's about
last point.
You have to don't worry about the
only clever children will be successful in life. هي لو تشبه هي الجملة هتلقاها في اللاست باراجراف مذكورة راه.
ما الجو كله تعرفي وين ان هم 3 نقاط مذكورات هم.
ايه ما هذه هي.
هو هذا للعلم راه الاسئله هذا من انماط اسئله الايلتس الشبيهه بالستايل هذا. طبعا مثال مزودينكم العيار بس بس الفكره نفسها راه التكنيك نفسها للعلم يبي شويه تركيز.
Yes, but here he didn't say what sentence is included in the paragraph. He said what describing the article the best.
Yes.
So
it's like a
you
summary.
should be careful. That's why.
You should be careful. You're right. Absolutely right. You should be careful because here what they want a sentence which summarizes the position of the writer. هنا اللي يهمنا موقف الكاتب. شنو يبي النقطة اللي بيوصلها. بغض النظر موافقينها ولا مش موافقينها هذا موضوع خاص تاني. لكن عادة في الامتحانات شو بيجيب لك؟ يجيب لك مقال ولازم احنا بنحطوا روحنا in the writer's shoes. احنا بنتخيلوا نفسنا الرايتر شنو يبي يوصل الرايتر هذا شنو النقطة اللي يبي يوصلها من المقال. So most reading works like this. وحتى اللي قالتها سنة صح كبداية لأن كل المقالات في الإنجليزي ديما تبدأ بintroduction. فشنو يديك ففي الانترودكشن يدوي لك على المتعارف عليه وبعدين بيجيب لك وجهة نظر مخالفة. عادة الكتاب يدير فيه التكنيك هذا يعطيك ما هو متعارف عليه what everybody believes بعدين يجيب لك كل وجهة رأي ممكن جديدة أو ممكن وحتلاحظوا دار سويتش في الموقف يعني بعد ما تكرر الموجود من كلمة however يعني however تبين الكونتراست أو التباين أو التغيير. however هيفتح لك كلام منافي معناه أي حاجة جاتك بعد الhowever منافي لكل ما سبق right. يعني وفي نفس الوقت حتى قبل ما يستعمل however في حتى سؤال نوع من السؤال يقولوا لهم rhetorical questions. نعرف كيف نترجمها لكم maybe هاجر كأنه the translation rhetorical question. Hajar, do you know what a rhetorical question is? Rhetorical question. خلينا نشوف شو معناه rhetorical question. let me check the translation. هذه زي الأسئلة اللي هي طيب نشوف الجوجل ترانزليشن يقول لنا سؤال بلاغي. سؤال بلاغي معناه سؤال مش مبيكش تجاوبه، لكن للفت الانتباه يعني لكن الأقل. فهنا الكاتب لو تلاحظوا شنو قال في الأول ذكر النقاط اللي قالت عليها سنة. As everybody knows, if you have children, you want them to be happy and successful these days. Children are under more pressure than ever to do well at school, but is this helping or damaging our kids? بينبهنا الكاتب هنا. هل هذا you know is this good؟ أن احنا نضغط عليهم مش يجيبوا درجات وكذا، هل ينفع ولا ما ينفعش؟ بعدين كمل لك. We read a lot of stories these days about pushy parents who make their children study all the time so they can get into the best universities. This means children spend most of their free time studying by themselves to please their parents. However, the latest research suggests that this approach can do more harm than good. في الحقيقة الجملة هذا هو يعتبر اسمه فيه اللي هو thesis sentence. في الرايتنج بيقولوا له thesis sentence. thesis sentence هو هذا الجملة أو المقطع اللي يوضح فيه الكاتب يعني يظهر بألوانه الكاملة، يعطيك الرأي، يعطيك الأوبينيون بتاعه. يعني هذا من السطر هذا بس إحنا المفروض كفيل لأن إحنا نعرف موقف الكاتب من الموضوع هذا كله ضد.
It's the main
idea.
main sentence.
بالضبط. هذا هو المين idea. هو أعطانا الفكرة أنه هو راه قال لك you know this is not good for kids. تو كل شيء من النقطة هذه لنهاية المقال حتكون إثبات النقطة هذه. يعني تو الكاتب كل شيء بيدير كل اللي في مقدوره يثبتنا الجملة هذه. And the research shows you know we shouldn't push our kids. You know we could disagree with him. We could say this is not true. Maybe this doesn't apply to Libyan kids. You know we can نقدر ننتقد المقالة ونطلع أجزاء ما نتفقوش فيه، ذاك يعني موضوع ثاني. بس مبدئيا هذا موقف الكاتب ضد pushing kids to study more and more. So I don't know if we for me personally there are some parts I agree with, but I disagree with this because I think kids I do believe that parents are pushing kids more than ever, but I think kids are also not interested in education anymore. And I don't know, maybe because of social media, like Malak said, the internet, they're exposed to too much information. They just sometimes feel maybe frustrated. Why are we wasting our time studying, you know, geography and I don't know.
They want to enjoy.
They just want to have, just have fun, have pleasure. Go on Instagram, TikTok, you know, play online games. So
they are lazy kids.
Yeah, you know, it's maybe they're just unlucky. For us, I think when we were kids, we didn't have as many distractions.
Yeah.
We had video games, but it wasn't, you know, on your phone whenever you wanted. So parents are losing control. You know, that's why they're pushing harder on their kids.
Yes, before there is Atari. And when there is when there is an exam, the parents
take it with them.
Keep
in the bedroom cupboard they put it, and then you have to wait until you finish your exams to get it.
And close by keys, and there is no.
Exactly.
that you will play.
Yeah, same thing. I had the same thing with the Sega, with the PlayStation 1. It's the same story.
Yeah.
So we didn't have access to activities which wasted time as much as kids today. So you know, it's I think it's a very controversial topic. You know, you could talk a lot about it. It's a good topic. Anyway, so if we want to summarize the writer's position, then this is what the writer believes. He thinks we should praise the effort, not the grades. Well, that's his opinion. All right, so now let's answer these questions. So it says here, what do pushy parents want children to do?
They make their children to study all the time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all the time.
That's it. That's what they want. They want their kids to study all the time. But the writer, or Graham Atkins, let's see who this person was in the story. Graham Atkins is the child psychologist. Okay, so let's see the question.
It's
again.
child psychologist.
Yeah, she's a child psychologist, and what does she think? What does Graham Atkins think children also learn at school? Let's see what she thinks.
Can get on with another children, with another colleague.
Yeah.
I think by I think it's about I don't know the اجتماعي.
Yes.
Other children
Yeah.
and
Yes.
how to become a part of society.
Exactly.
Yes.
She's focusing on social skills and how to be sociable, how to make friends, how to, you know, agree, disagree with other kids, play, fight, you know, this kid
also
interaction.
Yes. Also, this happened at the technology time, because maybe here in Libya they are playing in the school, because they haven't mobiles, and they are not allowed to use it at school. But in other countries they use it. So the child didn't play with with the other children. That's why maybe he said that.
You mean that kids in other countries don't play with each other as much as kids here do? Is that your point?
Yes, because they play in they allow to have a mobile and at school,
computer games.
So
You mean in other schools, in schools in the UK, they allow them to play in the classroom?
No, not at the classrooms. At the classrooms, maybe they are studying, but in the break, they are not maybe playing.
With their
but I think abroad, especially in Western countries, the focus is getting children to play with each other, not with games or phones. And usually most of them,
that's why.
they don't allow children to bring phones, or most of them they don't allow them. And if a teacher or a headmaster finds you have a phone, they will confiscate it. They will take it until your parent comes and give it to your parent. So they don't want kids to bring any games or phones. They're not allowed to. But at the same time, the kids have lots of clubs and activities at school: sports club, chess club, tennis club, you know.
And even music, I think.
Music club. They have a football team, volleyball team, basketball team. You know, there are so many activities that kids can do after the classes. So this keeps them, you know, interactive. It keeps them sociable. They have to, you know, socialize with each other. They have to work on projects together. This, of course, helps. I don't think we do any of this here in Libya, unfortunately. And with the corona pandemic, it's even worse now. So children don't get enough time with their, you know, their classmates as before. So it's a bit of a problem. So she thinks.
And even before, I remembered when I was in the school. We have class with the sport or with the training, but we don't do anything, just to let us to, especially with the girls, with the boy. The teacher give them the football, but for us the girl, no, don't
Just
do
sit and
anything.
talk.
Just chat, with the with the other.
Because you know, because we don't take sport seriously. We don't think of sport as a career. But in the West, in the US and in Europe, you know, many students can get a scholarship just because they're good at sports. Can you imagine? So in high school, for example, if you're very good at football or at volleyball or at any sport, if you're, for example, one of the top players in your school team, in university, usually the university will give you a scholarship, because this way, when you go to this university, you'll become part of the university team. You get the idea? And if you're good at the university team, what happens is you become, you have a bigger chance to become a professional sports player. You get the idea? So in university, when the international clubs, they look for players, they will look in university teams. And if they see that you're very good, they will offer you, a place in a major club, like, for example, Barcelona, like Real Madrid, if it's football. Or if it's basketball, for example, Los Angeles Lakers, Chicago Bulls, or one of these big teams. And as you know, sports players get paid millions per year. They're very rich. They get paid a lot of money. So in the West, sport they take it seriously. It's a career. It's not just fun. Like here in Libya, it's 45 minutes. Let's waste it running around a ball, for example. In the West, it's very different. They take gym class very, very seriously. So this is what number 2. This is what the psychologist believes. She thinks kids learn how to socialize and deal with each other. All right, now question number 3. It says, why does Sarah Vine think parents shouldn't criticize children for not getting good grades? Let's see what Sarah Vine said. Why did she say we shouldn't criticize kids? What do you think? Let me just check the question again. Why does she think parents shouldn't criticize children for not getting? Why does she think that? Why does she think parents shouldn't criticize kids for getting bad grades?
If you are going to hear, she said that if you criticize children for not getting good grades, they can feel like they are failures.
Failures, yeah, exactly, yes. And what does this cause in the future?
It causes psychological problems.
Yes, when they get older and become adults, maybe they'll have problems because they think they're stupid, they think they're failures, they're not good. So this is what the child counselors.
I think that's
it's kind of true.
What happened. That's what happened in our country, in our most of the, especially for boys, because boys they didn't want anyone to say to them they are not good, especially behind the girls.
True.
But here in our schools, but here in our schools they mention it a lot. So when he became in high school, he failed, most of them.
Because
there are many of boys.
Many stories like this.
Yeah. But he loved some of subject, but no one knows that. So they are just saying to him, "You are stupid," and like this. For girls, they are not like boys. They don't care what they are saying to them. Also, I think most of the girls finished high school. If they are not finished, they are just getting married.
Yeah.
So it's not a big problem like a boys.
Yeah, for boys, I think maybe it's a big problem that if they don't graduate, they will always think of themselves as failures. And this happens not only in high school, even boys who don't finish university, even if they become
Yeah.
successful in other things, they usually feel, you know, they feel that they're
Yes.
not good enough, they're stupid, and all their friends
I
have.
think maybe they are not graduate from the university, but he can be a good for anything. But he thinks he is a stupid, so he becomes stupid.
True.
So
Yeah, because that what you believe becomes your reality. Because if you believe in
Yeah.
something so strongly, even if it's not true, you will make it true because of your belief. So you know, she does have a point, Miss Sarah here, the child counselor. You know, grades. Not all kids can get full marks, and here, even in our culture in Libya, if you think of it, if you don't get 20 from 20, or if you don't get 100 from 100, then they tell you you're stupid. Your parents will tell you, why isn't it 100? So if you get, for example, 95, your father will say, why isn't it 100? So this is what my father used to do.
But I think it's not
Yeah.
all of the students like this, I think.
You mean
Or all
not
the
parents, not all
Yeah.
parents, but
Yeah, but
many
there is the
parents.
parents, if even give the half of the market, it's okay. You will pass. Okay, okay. I know teacher.
Yeah, but
Some are
also
like
the
this, yeah.
teachers
Yes, because
also the teacher says that.
they told
Yes.
the year السنة اللي فاتت
Mhm.
just to
Just don't stay in the same year. Don't fail. Just keep moving.
yeah.
I remember I had a math teacher, and I used to like him very much because he was maybe the only teacher who didn't judge the students. You know, when, for example, when he handed out the results, so if you got 20 from 20 or 12 from 12, he puts the same face if you get 4 from 12, or if you get 3, or if you get 2. They get the idea. He doesn't make you feel less or more. So if you get a full mark, you know, he doesn't say anything. If you get 3 or 2 or 4, he'll just give you the paper, and life goes on. And I used to like that very much, because when I used to get bad marks in math, and I got a lot of them in high school, you know, he was very, you know, he just gives you a paper, and you don't feel like an idiot. And that was nice. I liked it. But many teachers don't do this. You know, they usually look at you like you're a dirty student. You know, you got 5 from
You know,
from 15.
teacher. I know teacher because my sister teacher, and she told me nowadays, because the some of the schools or all the schools separate the boys and separate the boys and the girls,
Uh-huh.
and the teachers feel not happy. Why? Because when the boys with the girls, the boys came quiet and not
You mean not too aggressive,
yes,
not too
because in
naughty.
the front of the girl, and they want
They want to behave
to
themselves, to look good,
yes,
and
yes. But when they separate the boy to the girl, now the teacher faced some problem with the quiet and with the lots of things.
yeah, true. Many, I know this
And
is a
the
complicated.
boy, yes, and the boy don't like to criticize in front of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's why maybe they want to study hard, and they want not the teacher tell him something it's not good, and that's it's not
Yeah,
like the boy with boy. It's not care and okay.
true. Yeah, I think it does play an important part. But you know, the issue of separating the boys from the girls, this is a very complicated topic. And you know, I don't know. In my opinion, I think at least in primary and preparatory school, I think it's a stupid idea to separate them, because kids need to socialize, and they're still kids. Maybe in high school, okay, you can say if you want to separate them in high school, not a big deal, okay, separate them. But before that, I don't understand why. I don't think it makes any point.
For me, it's okay. For me, the separate, it's okay. But maybe we need to do way or something to let them to study. I don't know. For me, it's the separate way. It's for me, it's okay, good.
Even if
But
they're
maybe,
grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. I mean, are you talking about like you know, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the beginning, the primary school, الابتدائي, even in
I think the children is not like before, teacher. They know lots of things, I think. This is my opinion. I don't know the other.
I think that's true.
Believe me, I afraid from the children now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Because they speak and they told the things. I think it's how to know this and how.
True, but I think this is really not the school's fault. I think this is their parents' fault, because their kids are, you know, because the father is at work from, you know, 9 o'clock until 9 o'clock, and the mother is on the phone chatting to her sisters or friends, or, you know, going around town shopping, and the kid is on the phone 24/7, right? So, do you see the problem? So, but
maybe I don't know.
I do agree with you. Kids aren't as innocent as they used to. You know, they watch series for adults. They play violent games, which are for maybe older kids, 16, 17, 18, not for children who are 5 or 4 or 6, right? So there is a problem. We have a big problem, not a bit of a problem. But I don't know if separating them is, you know, is the best solution. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Maybe you have a point. Okay, so the last general question we have here about the article, it says, what problems can children who are frightened of failure have in the future? So according to this article, they mentioned kids who are afraid of failure. They have, what happens to them in the future?
We already answered that.
Yeah, we did.
They become,
I think this is the
harder
answer.
to be happy.
We'll find how to
life.
be happy and successful life.
Exactly, yeah. So when they grow older, you know, it'll be hard for them to be happy and successful, because they believe that they're not good enough. They believe they are stupid. They believe that they have bad ideas which will prevent them from succeeding in life. All right, so it's an interesting article. You know, like we said,
yes,
we can agree, disagree, agree with some parts, disagree with others. It's a well-written article, I think. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about grammar. So in the previous lesson, all the focus was on the first conditional, okay? Let me just very quickly remind you so we can compare the first conditional with the zero conditional that we're going to talk about today. In the first conditional, we agreed that first conditionals talk about the future, and the if clause talks about things which are possible. All right, so this is the general idea of the first conditional. But in the zero conditional, things are a little different. And what they want us to do now in question number 3A is they want us to start by reading the first 2 sentences in bold and then answering these 2 rules. So let's take a close look at the first 2 sentences in bold. I'm just going to underline them for you so you can take a good look at them and read them again. And then we can answer the 2 rules. So let's start here. If you have children, comma, you want them to be happy and successful. Okay. If children study all the time, comma, they don't develop in other ways. All right, so these are the 2 sentences. Now, let's take a look at the question. What does it want exactly? So the first rule, it says, Zero conditionals talk about things that are possible in the future or things that are always true. From these two sentences, what do you think? Do you think these sentences talk about things which are possible in the future or things which are always true?
Always true, I
Always
think.
true, yes.
I think so too, right? Because, you know,
Yeah.
they're because you have present simple in both parts, right? So with the
Yeah.
if clause, you can see here, if you have, you want. If children study, they don't develop. So maybe that's the right answer. Okay, so always true. Let's go with this answer. Then the second part of the question, it says, I think I just answered it accidentally. In zero conditionals, both verbs are in the which tense are the verbs?
The present simple.
Present.
Right. So this means in the zero conditional, unlike the first condition, there is no place for the future, right? There's no will. There's only present simple in both parts. Do you get the idea? So this is probably the biggest difference, that we have present simple in the main clause, present simple in the if clause. All right. And of course, the meaning, again, we use them to talk about things which are always true, not things which are possible in the future. So until now, we have two differences. Okay, let's check our next question. So our next question, ABC, okay. So it says, look at sentences number 3 to 5. Excuse me. Look at sentences number 3 to 5 in the article. Answer these questions. Which sentence has a modal verb? So we need to look at a sentence that has a modal verb in the main clause. Then we need to look at a sentence which has imperative in the main clause. And then we need to check which verb form is in the if clause in each sentence. I think
What's
this
the
should...
meaning imperative?
Imperative, good question. Who can explain it in English? Hajar, would you like to explain imperative in English and give us an example?
Imperative. In English.
I think if you give an example, maybe it's easier. You don't even need to explain it if you just give an example. Give an example. This is an imperative.
Yeah. You should. We don't use should.
We don't.
Yes. Write your homework.
Exactly. Do the washing up. Clean your room. Right?
So you should do it.
Yeah, you have to do it in a way, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like you should, just a bit stronger. So what's this, Sana? It's like an order, right? Someone is giving you an order.
Yes. Yes.
So this means, what is it in Arabic when someone gives you an order?
أمر.
Yes. Yes, أمر. وطبعا الأمر يعطوا فيه بالإنجليزي اللي هو بالإنفينيتيف بس.
حاجة واجبة يعني.
Yes. وطريقة كتابته اللي هو بالإنفينيتيف. Give an example. Do your homework, clean the dishes, tidy up the house. من غير subject. تلقي بديلك بالinfinitive. هذا يعتبر imperative. Okay?
يعني حاجة ضرورية صح؟ يعني حاجة لابد منها يعني.
لازم أديرها مش شرط.
ايوه يعني امر انت مجبور ان حد امرك تديرها، هي هذه الفكره يعني. So we need to look for a sentence. ممكن حتكون number 3 or 5 or 4 يعني we have to check. But المهم نطلع الامبerative أما واحدة فيهم imperative. And the last one, which verb form is in the if clause in each sentence? I think if we're gonna use the rule, المفروض بتكون present simple, right? Because we agreed present simple in both of them according to this rule, remember?
Yeah.
So, but let's check. Let's look at number 3, 4, and 5. Let's take a look. Let me take you back to the article. So let me just underline examples 3, 4, and 5. So this is number 3. And this is number 4. And number 5. So let me just remind you what we need to look for. One of them has a modal verb, one of them has an imperative, and the last question they want us to find what was the verb form in the if clause. Yeah. In each one of these 3 examples, what was the verb form in the if clause?
Number
If you
3,
want
I
to
think
help.
modal verb.
Yes, number 3 we have the modal verb, right?
Number
Yes.
and if you want help to help your children apply the effort they make, this imperative.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Praise.
Okay.
This is the imperative. Praise the praise the effort they make. Very good. So we found the imperative. Okay, and then the last part of the question, Shinkan, it said, what about the verb form in the if clause? In the 3 examples, what's the verb form in the if clause?
Present.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you check, all of them, it's the same thing, right? All of them had the present. Want, present simple. Want, again, present simple. Criticize, present simple.
Condition and clause like that, the same meanings, huh?
No, conditional clause, it means the part. Clause, it means like half. Because in conditional sentences, you have 2 clauses. If clause, main clause, 2 clauses. Not 1,
And
2. 2
okay.
clauses. Because
and the clause and judgment.
Sorry?
The clause and judgment, like that, huh?
Clause and
Judgment.
Judgment. شو قصدك؟ I didn't get your point.
يعني كيف نقول لك هنا؟ Clause that have many meaning.
مش close هذه clause. هيك بالشكل هذا. Clause.
Clause. Yes, CLOAUSE. Yes, they have meaning about that.
هو بصفة عامة هنا نستعمل فيها
Because I didn't understand what's the meaning in this grammar.
هو clause عنده معنى قانوني ومعنى نحوي. احنا تو معنى قانوني.
What's the meaning in the grammar?
The grammar اللي هو بمعنى النصف، شق او نصف الجملة.
Okay.
يعني مثلا زي السؤال اللي انت جاوبته هنا مثلا إيهاب اللي هو بتاع الامبerative. باهي. Take a look here. It says if you want to help your children. شنو تلاحظ بعد children؟ شنو في موجود هنا؟ حاجة هيك شنو هي؟ كوما. هذه الكوما توضح لك نهاية الشق الأول، النصف الأول من الجملة اللي هو هذا الكلوز الأول. بعدين بعد يبدأ لك الكلوز الثاني. Praise the effort they make. هذا الكلوز الثاني. يعني كل conditional فيها 2 clauses. فيها اللي هو يقولوا له if clause اللي هو النص اللي فصل الإف، والنص الثاني اللي فيه الفكرة الأساسية main clause. كل الكونديشنالز فيهم القصة هذه.
نص الجملة يعني.
الكلوز يعني كأنه نصف جملة هيك معناها النحوي يعني كلوز نصف جملة. لكن هو كان بداية ومرات تقدر تقلبهم. مثلا نقدر نقول أنا praise the effort that children make if you want to help them. يعني نقدر نقلبها جملة. نقدر نبدأ لك أنا بالمين كلوز، مش ضروري نبدأ بالإف.
أوكي.
طبعا لو بدأت بالمين كلوز حتختفي الفاصلة. الكوما حتختفي لك. لكن الفكرة قاعدة نفسها، قاعدة شقين يعني.
اوكي.
انت لو ترجع للكتاب في النهاية حتلاقي الكلام هذا معودينه لك في الريفيو في اللي هو تلقاه في page Untitled page باش تسجلها.
I will check it.
Yeah, page 140, 141, 42 حتلقاها.
It's okay.
All right. So this is the.
في عندي question.
Sure, go ahead.
sentence number 5.
Mhm.
This is imperative or no, there is no modal verb. This meaning imperative, yes?
There's actually a modal verb even in number 5.
25.
Here we have can. Can is a modal verb. They can feel.
Yeah.
احنا
They
جاوبنا
can
الأولى
feel, yes,
بالفعل لكن حتى هذه فيها you know
Modal.
it's not an imperative.
Yes, this meaning modal verb.
باش يجيك السنتنس imperative لازم يكون بادي بالانفينيتيف على طول هيك على طول ما فيش ما فيش subject ما فيهاش فاعل. يعني صيغة الأمر في الإنجليزية ديما يحط لك الانفينيتيف على طول من غير شيء. Clean your room, do the dishes, do your homework, write the article, answer the question. Do you get the idea? ما فيهاش you ما فيهاش he she طول هيك infinitive على طول. This is the imperative. All right, so we answered these introduction questions. So here we have our last question. It says, look at this sentence from the article, then choose the correct rule. So let's take a look at this sentence. So it says, students are scared of answering questions in case they get them wrong. So it says here, we use in case to talk about something that might or is definitely going to happen. And the second rule, it says, in case and if have the same or different meanings. What do you think? Let's start with our volunteer. What do you think, Sana?
I think about something that might to happen.
I'm going to write your answer, might. And the second point, do you think they have, in case, does it have the same meaning as if or not the same meaning?
Same meaning.
I think not the same.
You think not the same? So Sana thinks not the same. Yahab thinks the same.
In case في حالة إذا.
Okay, let's check the summary. Let's see all this information and let's check your question. So let's take a look at page 142. Here we are. All right, so this is our topic. First, zero conditional. Here it is. All right, so we answered this. We said zero conditional things which are always true. هذا اتفقنا عليه. Present simple في both clauses. سواء ال if clause وسواء ال main clause. If and when have the same thing. Okay, مش هذا سؤالنا. And in case, generally in case. So it says here, this is how we can use in case. We use in case to say that we are prepared for something that might happen. Students are scared of answering questions in case they get them wrong. I'll take an umbrella in case it rains. In case and if have different meanings. You know why? Compare these sentences. Look at this sentence. So can you read the first sentence for us, please, Sana?
Okay. I will buy some food in case I get hungry.
Okay. And the second one?
I will buy some food if I get hungry.
Okay. What's the difference? This question is for everyone, not only Sana. What do you think the difference is?
In the second example, I will buy some food if I get hungry. I will buy it if I will be hungry. So it means I will not buy a food now.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and the
But in
first
the
one?
second, I will buy some food in case I get hungry. I will buy it now. Maybe later I will get hungry, so I will I already have a food.
That's the idea. Yes, that's it. That's the difference between in case and if. So in case is you're going to prepare yourself. If you get hungry, تمام. If you don't get hungry, تمام. هي معك الماكل على احتياط. So in case ديما زي احنا لما نقولوا بالليبي على احتياط على احتياط.
That's our mother do.
Yeah.
What our mother do.
Yeah, our mothers always think in case.
Yeah.
But men are the opposite. I think men, we have the philosophy: shoot first, ask later.
Yes.
So it's a bit different. Anyways, this is just a quick introduction to the second conditional. In our next lesson, we will talk in more detail, and we'll also do the exercises. But I think you get the idea, some of the differences, or at least the general idea of the zero conditional. So that's all for tonight. So in our next lesson, we'll do the exercise, we'll do a little bit of listening. So we'll get a chance, and we'll also learn some of the differences between the zero conditional and the first conditional, like this exercise. Very interesting. Can you see this? If my children make a lot of effort, I praise them. If my children make a lot of effort, I'll praise them. So think of this as your homework. Tell me what's the difference in meaning between these two. Can you see that?
Okay.
All right. Anyways, that's all for tonight. I'll see you on tonight? Do you have a question?
Okay. Yes, I asked you before when will be pay for the next month. I think we should pay or no.
I'll take a look. I think maybe you have, I don't know, maybe a week or something left. But I'll take a look.
Really?
And then
because I think we started with the 9th of January. Yes, or I'm wrong?
I'll have to check. I'm not sure. I think yes.
Okay.
I think you're right. Yes. Yeah. 9th. Yeah, because the intermediate. Correct. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a look and I'll let you know. Okay.
Please send me the person we will tell him to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Assalamu
Bye bye.
alaikum.
مع السلامة. مع السلامة.